Inspecting properties is the core function of Pocket Reporter. Inspection tutorials 2 through 5 will explain the basics of using PRPro to record information about the property regardless of the type of inspection you are undertaking. The final tutorial button will change depending on the current inspection type and the history of the property. It will cover the various inspecting scenarios you will come across to give you a better idea of what is required to complete each type of inspection and how to best minimise the effort required. Properties should always be inspected in a systematic way in order to ensure full coverage of the property while at the same time minimising your effort in completing the inspection. To assist in this, PRPro breaks a property down into areas, each of which comprises a three-dimensional space within the overall property. Tap the New Area button to add a new area to the property. The list that appears contains options of the different types of areas which you might wish to add to the property. The initial areas in the list can only be added to a property once. We call them preamble as they always appear at the beginning of a report and in the order you see them here. Scrolling to the bottom of the list will show you what we refer to as postamble, which is identical in principle to the preamble but appears at the end of the report instead of the beginning. Selecting either a preamble or postamble area will add it to the property with its default name. Going back into the area list, the remaining area types are like building blocks which you can piece together to form a complete description of the actual property itself. Selecting one of these area types allows you to give the new area a name and to determine where the area belongs in the property. Names of areas should be as descriptive as possible. You only need to name an area in a property in the very first inspection, and the more precise the name, the easier the area will be to find for the owners, tenants, and future inspectors of the property. The order the areas appear in your report will also make it easier to determine which area is which and should reflect your walkthrough of the property. At this stage, we have added two areas to this property, and you can see the two different icons in the inspection list on the left. The notepad symbol is used to indicate an area or item which will be printed in the final report for this inspection. The grey house symbol is used to indicate an area or item which is part of the structure of the property, but that will not be included in the final report for this inspection. Later, you'll see a red house symbol which indicates that an area or item has not been commented on yet, but will be added to the report if the Finalize the Report button on the cover page screen is used. Note that if you look at a section of the property but don't make any comments or changes, then when you move on in the property, that section will automatically be removed from the report. Having now learned how to break a property into areas, we need to look at the process of breaking an individual area down into its component items. Let's start by tapping on the New Item button. Because the area being inspected is brand new, PRPro gives you some options to make it easier to create the area. We will be looking at the top half, Copy Existing Area, in a moment. However, the bottom half, Use Template, is extremely useful in these early stages of inspecting a property. The options in the list here are templates we have set up for the bedroom type rooms. In different area types, each have their own templates. Shell templates are designed to create the structure of the area for you, but leave the entry of the condition comments entirely up to you. Perfect templates create the same structure, but also fill in the condition with some standard comments. They assume that the area is in perfect condition and has standard colours and materials. Which template is going to be more effective for you will vary from area to area, but will mainly depend on the current condition of the property. We'll start by adding a simple perfect template, and this is done by tapping the accessory button. You can see that we now have a structure for a simple bedroom and that each item has comments reflecting the typical type and condition for that item. Note that the window treatment only records a condition and not the type. This is due to the fact that there is so much variation in window treatments between properties, so you can enter a description here to complete the area. You can easily change colours by double tapping on them and typing a new colour. However, Phrase Storm, discussed in its own tutorial, will make this much easier. We'll also quickly add an individual item to the area, as you can quickly extend a template to completely match the area you're looking at. Tap the New Item button, and this time you'll see a list of all the possible types of items you can add to a property. The easiest way to navigate this list is to tap in the search and start typing the item you're looking for. Once you've found the item, tap on it, give it a meaningful name, select where the item should appear in the area, and tap Done. I want to now show you the complete template for a bedroom for comparison, but as you'll be doing a lot of exploring yourself early on while using PRPro, I'll first show you how to remove an area in the event that you don't like the template you've used. Removing sections from a report or property involves the standard swipe to delete gesture you should be used to on the iPhone. Swiping a section with a notepad gives you the option to remove that part of the property from the current report. Notice that the notepad symbol has been changed to a property symbol. Swiping the same section while it only has a property symbol gives you the option to permanently delete it from the property. Deleting a section permanently will also delete all of the history for that section and will affect previous reports you have completed, so should only be done in the event that a property is permanently modified or during the early stages of a property's initial construction in PRPro. If you don't like a template or if an area has been permanently removed from the property, then you can delete the area. This will also remove all of the items belonging to that area. Having covered deleting sections, we can now have a look at the other main template for bedrooms. We'll add in a new bedroom and then select the Complete Perfect template. Note that it adds a lot more detail to the room. Finally, we'll add a shell template to see what it looks like. Note that adding a second bedroom automatically numbers the room for you. However, we strongly recommend naming the areas to improve your final report and also your efficiency during the final inspection. Having worked our way through the templates, we'll have a look at the two other techniques for building a new area. First, we'll add a living room to the property. When we now try and add our first item, you'll note that the two bedrooms appear in the Copy Existing Areas list. Tapping the accessory next to one of these will copy both the structure of the area and also the comments you have made. This is particularly useful in the event that you have had to heavily edit a template for a particular room, but then discover a very similar room elsewhere in the property. Just copy the first room and you'll have completed most of your work for the new room. The final technique is to build an area from scratch. First, tap the Don't Copy button. The items list will display and has the same process as when we added an individual item to a template previously, although it will have to be repeated a number of times to fully describe the area. If at any time you feel that the order of your areas needs to change or the order of items within an area needs to change, you can achieve this by tapping the Edit button. The red circle on the left of each item allows you to delete it as per the previous swipe to delete demonstration, but the grip icon at the right of the item can be used to move it up or down the list. Hold the grip icon until the item is highlighted. Next, move the item up or down until it appears where you want it in the list, and then let go. Moving areas up or down requires that you drag the overview item for that area up or down until it is in the area that it is to replace. Letting go will then reorder the areas as necessary. When you're finished reordering, tap the Done button. You can actually rename an area or item once it has been added to the property. To rename an item, just tap its accessory and change the name in the text box. To rename an area, you need to tap the Overview item accessory for that area and can then rename it. Having finished construction basics, you're now ready for part 2, basic information entry.